Alright, welcome to my in the bag video for 2025. I'm going to show you what I'm throwing here at Arvika Open, which is pretty much what I'm planning to throw the rest of the year. I've had some other molds in my bag at the start of the season, but I've simplified the bag a little bit, and I think I'm at a good space now with discs that I've been throwing for a long while and that I like to throw. So let's start with the backpack itself. It's EasyGo E2 from Latitude 64, and I think it's a good compromise. You have the discs stacked vertically, you have enough space for them, and the load is kind of all over your back and not just in a single spot. So it's very ergonomical, not so heavy. There's also space for putters on top, for water bottles and for some snacks on the bottom. I think that just if you have extra clothes, probably won't fit in the bag, but it works very well, and it's nice for long rounds to have some lightweight on your back. Getting over to the putting putters, these netted me about 92% C1X putting on the round 2 of Arvika Open, so I'm super happy with that. They're just the putters I've been putting for the longest time. They're Discmania Lynx. I've just been sticking with these for a long time. I've been playing for 2.5 years, and I've been having these for 1.5 years. So they're really working out nicely for me, and I think I will keep them for a while, as long as it's working. Maybe I want to test something out in the future, but I like these for now. And then moving on to my most important approach disc. It's the Berg by Kastaplast. I have it in the K3 hard plastic, so it's quite stiff, but it's still grippy like a putter plastic. I think that the base plastic Bergs, they hold anhyzer lines better and they're always grippy. So I like to use this on all kinds of approaches, backhand, forehand, anhyzer, hyzer. This comes out a lot, and it's a forgiving disc. I'm a little bit ashamed of throwing it because, you know, you don't have to have touch to throw this, but it is accepting a lot of my mistakes, and I'm definitely saving a lot of strokes with this. So moving on to my throwing putter. I have 3 Envies. This one is a very beat up Envy, and it's very understable. So for this one I throw a lot of turnover lines, maybe not in the wind like this, but it comes out a lot on shorter courses. And then I have 2 more overstable Envies, the Glow here, the Eclipse, and here I have the soft Envy. I just have 2 because it's such an important disc for me. In case I lose one, I still can finish the round in a nice way. They are very reliable for me. I can shape a lot of lines with them. They're not super overstable, but they hold up in some wind, and for me these really shape my game. They go quite far. I can throw them up to 80, 85, 90 meters if I have to on any line, so they are used very much. And then over to mid-ranges. I bag the Hex by Axiom. This one is super straight, and it can also drift a little bit. I think it's a super nice mid-range because it's quite glidey, and I can use it very well on the forehand too. I saw Big Germ throwing the Hex on the forehand, and I was like, damn, you can throw mid-ranges forehand too. I was never able to do it before, but with this one I seem to get very nice clean releases. So every disc I have, I usually throw both forehand and backhand. And I also usually have a fission version of this one. This is the Neutron plastic, because that's more understable. It can give me more understable flights, but that's down in that lake now, sadly, so I have to get a replacement. And then over to the Overstable mid-range. This is the Pyro. I have 2 of them for the same reason. It's quite windy out here now this tournament, so I keep a backup in my bag. This is nice on backhand and forehand. It's reliably overstable, but goes quite far, cuts through the wind nicely, and it's super reliable. I can also power down on it and use it as like a zone type approach disc if I want to. So really workable disc again, forehand and backhand. This is super reliable to have in a tournament. And then for the first time I've grabbed a 7-speed. The Idug by Kastaplast is super nice. It can take some torque, but it flips a little bit, and it can shape any line with it. I throw this mostly backhand actually, but I think it's just super nice when you don't want a fairway driver because it moves too far left and right, but you also want more distance than a mid-range. I think this is a super nice thing to have. I didn't think I needed it, but after I picked it up, it's just been a workhorse, which is kind of what the name suggests as well. Idug means it's super happy to work for you. So yeah, that's it. And then I have 2 lutes as well. This is a lightweight 168 gram lutes that I've dyed myself. And then here I have a Glow lutes. These are my workhorse fairway drivers. They go super far, they're super glidey, and they have this full flight that I really love, and I've been learning a lot by using these a lot lately. Before, I used to just throw overstable fairways and kind of just rip on them and see what happens, but this one I can shape more, and it teaches me a lot of touch, and they always know the way down the fairway, and you can get nice understable lines without them turning and falling to the ground. So these have been super reliable for me for straight to understable fairway drivers. And then over to overstable fairway drivers, I carry 2 Firebirds, again super windy, so I want to have a backup. Also, the Champion Firebird is quite a bit more overstable than the Nate Sexton Firebird. Actually, I got this one from a guy that I just like the color, and I got it quite cheaply used, and I don't think he knew what kind of disc this was, because I've heard they are quite rare. I do love the flight. It's really pushy and it holds up in a lot of wind, and it is super for backhand, forehand, and in the wind here it's just been an absolute workhorse. So I'm loving this one as well. Then over to the distance drivers. Cloudbreaker is my main distance driver for now. It's quite understable for a Cloudbreaker, and that's the reason I have it actually. I bought one from my local shop because I thought it looked beautiful, and then I ended up loving it because after throwing it the first time, I flipped a Cloudbreaker and I felt super strong, because who am I to flip a Cloudbreaker? I found out later this is a more understable version of the Cloudbreaker, but anyways, it's just been a lot of fun to throw. I can shape a lot of straight to understable lines with it. I can turn over if I have to, or I can flip it up and ride straight, and it just goes quite far for me. So this one has been a very fun disc to throw when I have to throw over 110 or 120 meters. So then we're getting over to the last disc, which is the time lapse from the Simon line. This is the Neutron plastic, the original one that came out, not the prototype, but the one right after that, the first stock run. And it was super overstable in the start. It was one of those time lapses that were people deemed almost unusable because it's so overstable. But I've been beating this in for a long time. I'm loving the red on red color combination and the dye job I put on here. And it's just been worked into a point where I can really get some lines out of it, even though it's still quite overstable. And this one as well has been a true workhorse out here on Arvika, which is a lot of open, windy, long holes. So this one has saved me quite some strokes on this weekend, and I couldn't have done it without it. And that's it. That's my in the bag for the 2025 season. I'm a guy that likes a lot of gear, so I'm probably going to change it up at some point, but I've tried to simplify my bag as much as possible, throwing the discs that I know work. And there you have it. That's what I'm throwing for this season. Make sure to check out my other videos and subscribe to the channel. And then next year I will be back with another in the bag video. See you then. Thanks for watching.